Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome after what feels like an eternity back to Dysmantle here on Not Your Professional Walkthroughs channel with me, your host, Max. So, the funniest thing is that the reason why I did not do a recording for this game for quite a while is fairly simple. We are stuck currently on a quest where I need to find this sort of weird stuff that is gonna give me the parts to the goddamn train. And if I get the pieces of the train, then I will be able to go to this next location where we can come across another fuel cell. And it looks like we now have like multiple locations and multiple goals all set up in here. So I was actually thinking, is this a good potential for a stream? Now, the first reason why I think this is a good potential for a stream is that I will probably have to scour the entire desert, and if I do it like an episodic release, I will just be able to cut out all the unnecessary stuff and therefore just keep in the fun parts. But the reason why I wanted to consider this as a potential stream is the fact that I just simply have all this crap that needs to be done in the game, and it's kind of difficult for me to do it without actually just like not talking or something like that. So there's always something to be discussed, and of course that is why I wanted to consider that as an option. So if you would want me to see Dysmantled being streamed on the channel, let me know through the comment section. I will try to put it up together, and I will of course try to record what I'm streaming so that I can eventually upload the game in the 1440p resolution, because unfortunately, because I'm the channel that has 200 something subscribers, they're still not gonna allow me to stream the game in 1080p resolution. It's only allowing me to peak up at around 720. So if you're watching it on your phone, it might not look the worst, or your tablet, but if you would want to watch it on your computer or anything else, it might suffer, and therefore I am not sure how that would work out. But just due to the sheer amount of terrain that needs to be covered, and if I would, for example, want to go and start clearing out all these time crates, which thanks to your advice now I know how to do, I'm still a little confused when it comes to the mana spots. If I recall correctly, I was instructed to dig at set places, but I'm not sure if I understood that correctly. So there are still plenty of things which we can touch upon, but I don't really know. Like, what would be an interesting thing for a stream? Should it be supplying the Ark with a crap ton of resources? But then again, the entire stream would be just me trying to gather crops, chop down trees, gather metal, and just then try to transport over to wherever is that damn place where they have it. And no, this is the Westport Harbor, so that's not even correct. And where is the Ark? Yeah, here's the Ark. So we would have to go to the Frore naval base, where I would be able to drop off these crazy amounts of items. If I would have to travel to some of these locations, I mean, I have not scavenged this place, but I don't even want to, considering how much issue I had with just cold over in this location. This one seems to be a bit more north, so I don't know how the temperatures would work, because when I was over here, I did not really have that many issues, but once we got here to the mana shards and this large mana crater, it just all went really weirdly. And there is this icon of this guy or this spirit walking around, but once I got there, he was gone. And then when I fell down, I'm not gonna spoil the other episodes which you can watch on the channel, I got teleported around, and that would probably explain this cross where I died. So things happened. I still have to somehow deal with this sort of tower defense minigame, so maybe that would be potential for an episode where I would have to set up for it, or maybe potential for a stream would be me trying to roam around these borders and trying to find the entry to this location. But I still think it's gonna be all about me trying to find the damn access to the damn components so that I can fix the freaking train. But that's the thing. If I start to look up this information on websites such as Reddit and everything, it leads me absolutely nowhere. And then when I look at other YouTube videos where there are people like talking about Solaris and all this other stuff, I've actually watched 2 videos and there was absolutely nothing about it. They just had it in their titles, and I have been accused of title bait or clickbait, but I think that was kind of a BS. It wasn't even referred to Dysmantle. Like when I was talking about where is Curtisfield North, that thing was such a BS because we had to like travel all the way across through here and then get back down here because this bridge is deconstructed and you can only drop down this drawbridge from this side. So it was really difficult for me to find out because there was like this small sign which told you there is Curtisfield North, and then I ended up going around this entire region like a total dumbass and not realizing that Curtisfield North and South are like the one city, so it was all over the damn place. So I think for the purpose of this episode, still I want to know if you want me to try and do the stream eventually, either if it's the time crates or if it's dropping off stuff for the arc or whatever you would want me to probably feature on the stream. I'm gonna see if that's possible. I still do not know if I will manage to put together a guide for the Dysmantle. I have been considering it, but the biggest problem which I have with the game is that if I would abandon or if I would want to start all over again in order to start gathering the blueprints, the resources and everything all from the scratch, I would lose this entire progress. And the thing is that I have already like 30 or so hours invested into this, so starting all over again just so that I know at what upgrade level or what damage output I can start harvesting stuff with the machete or initially with the crowbar. What are you able to get? If you are even able to consider the time crates at the start, I still don't think that's a viable tactic for you, just due to the simple reason that the enemies tend to respawn. And so when you start initially, the Skage suburb is your whole world, and as that starts to expand and you come across these more locations, it gets that much harder to tap into that. But it's doable. I mean, the difficulty depends on what you set it up to. You can of course go to these antennas and reset the enemies so that they would respawn and be much more difficult to kill, but also give you better rewards. It totally depends on you. There is quite a lot of stuff that can be done, so it is up to you. I don't know if the guide is possibility. The reason why I want to do the guide is because I have to take forever just to find places like Curtisfield North in order to find the crabs, wood and timber, because I had no idea. This was all separate information spread out. It was not in a single video. So for example, if you are lacking resources such as steel ingots, or you need to gain access to the planks which are only able to be acquired once you have the sawmill construction blueprint, and then you are able to, for example, like I do, put it down to the pike steel manufacturing where I keep my smelters and my saws so that I can produce all these things separately. Because for example, in North Star installation, I think there's a furnace or something like that, so you can start make things over here. But trying to commute from all these different places is not really that great, and considering the fact that there is still a crap ton of resources to be gathered and you can still have lots of fun with the game, the limitations are really not like that common. It just, when I played the game when it was still in early access, it felt a little bit more annoying to get across some of these things. But I still have to agree that the certain choices which have been made, like trying to find certain things, it's just ridiculous. Like finding this freaking piece of machinery for a goddamn train is just driving me insane. And this is why I was hoping that maybe if I would do episode 23, which is this one, as a stream instead of actually doing an episode such as this one, would actually help me, because then I can have multiple people join in and we can have a discussion either about different games or whatever I think the channel might be building up towards, or what you would like me to see featured, or what games you are looking towards in 2022. It heavily depends, but I do have some goals or some things which I would like to achieve here on the channel. I don't just do it for the subscriber count. I honestly at certain points told myself I would be completely happy even with just 1,000 people being interested in having to listen to what I have to say. I do have some discussion videos, I do have some objective ideas, I do have some comparisons, I do have some opinions, and I do want to share those, and I do want to see what the overall feedback is. So there is plenty of stuff with the channel that still can be done, but right now what I will most likely do is, off the record, roam around the entire freaking desert like a total weirdo in order to find this fucking piece of machinery that needs to be collected in order for me to finally fix this freaking train, because it's just driving me crazy. Find repair parts for the desert train. A sturdy locomotive stands next to you. Upon closer inspection, it seems to be missing some important mechanical parts and is thus inoperable. An attached note mentions the lost shipment of parts and a place named Solaris. Perhaps you should look there. That's the thing. When I looked it up, Solaris was actually located over here. So I'm not sure what the hell is it that I'm looking for. I was giving this specific location somewhere around here or wherever, where it is already in this place. So it's almost impossible for me to get there. I don't think I'm able to get there unless the train is fixed, and I'm starting to feel like the same time as when we fixed the train over in the central railway station, when it actually broke down the bus which was blocking this bridge, and it took us all the way up into the well springs. So maybe this time, if we're gonna go from the main diamond mine, it's gonna take us somewhere close to the link tower here, maybe into the center. Hard to tell. There are already other channels which have probably completed the game, but they have either named the episodes so weirdly, or I just don't have the time, honestly, to look over other people's stuff in order to find out, hey, out of these 40 episodes which they have published, 2 were actually useful or something. I do usually try to do the most for the episode so that there is as much content reliable or useful for you in case you decide to pick up the game. I do read the comments, I do read the advice. If you mention that yes, you can get steel ingots out of the telephone poles and everything, yes, I know that. I have mentioned it in multiple episodes, but if I mention it in a 15-minute episode somewhere in the middle, chances are maybe nobody's watching anymore, because the analytics for the YouTube are telling me that the average viewing time is maybe 4 minutes at a time. I don't know if that means that maybe Dysmantle is doing far better than in comparison to other games which are doing far worse. I mean, I have checked one episode, which I named Where is Curtisfield North, where we actually tried to locate this goddamn place, and it has over 200 views, but a couple of weeks ago it was sitting at around 40 or something. So I'm starting to see that maybe more people are struggling with same stuff, and maybe that guy might be an option, but I would probably first rather finish this game, and then with the amazing knowledge that I'm able to gather, especially thanks to your support, I might be able to pull it off. I do not know how my schedule is going to work. I know that currently I do not have a job, and I'm waiting to start off at a new one. But compared to when I was a teenager and I loved playing nothing but video games, like if I can do it all day, I would do it all day. But now that I'm older, my attention span or something is wrong with me. I play the video games for a maximum of like 4 hours maybe a day, because I try to focus the attention towards the narration and what's happening and trying to come up with some fun content. So obviously this 20-minute rant or 15-minute rant at the start of the episode might not be the most interesting thing ever, but considering the fact that I will be now jumping maybe from point to point, it will affect the quality. So I will try to run around, I will try to see if I can find the freaking parts. Maybe we can try to do the shelter loudspeaker and see if I can clear out this first shelter with the the tower defense minigame that's inside of here. We will see, and based on that, the overall episode will evolve. Oh yeah, I will start working on the episode. You sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we will catch up soon when something interesting is happening. Okay, let's go find this goddamn piece of train so that I can finally gain access to the new location, because this is just driving me nuts. This place I have not scouted as of yet, so let's go take a gander over there. I better stop throwing my knives around. I haven't played this thing in a while, so I don't once again recall how to control everything. Okay, so we are getting to a location which I have not scouted out too much before. So we do have still infected around here, but it's easy pickings with the gear that we do have access to. So I do wonder if this might hold some of the secrets which I need to get. Blown up house. Okay, probably not. I don't know what they were doing up in here. Today is finally the day I'm able to test my new explosive compound. First, just a few minor tweaks to the formula and we are all set. Well, that was one massive tweak. Nice, still ingot. And I somehow need to get a jump on this lovely lady here. Beautiful. At least I'm assuming it's a female because of the fingernails, I don't know. Okay, so this was a big disappointment, unfortunately. We do have the friend of the animals perk, which is why the deer did not run off that fast. Actually do have a nice portion of a woodland here, but besides a couple of fish and some mushrooms, I don't really see anything which could hide potentially our piece of a train, so I might have to look elsewhere. What a shame. What a shame. Okay, so screw it. We're gonna give a shot to the tower defense minigame here. So if I recall it correctly, they're gonna be coming from 2 locations here. They're gonna be able to spread out, and the objective of the undead is to reach this spot or this comlink tower or radio tower. So we're gonna have to build up the turrets, and I do not recall right now as to how exactly does it work, if I need the builder's kit or what have you, but we do need to set up the turrets in order to do this. So how do I do this so that it actually functions? Because these are some extremely weirdly mutated zombies. And they can fight back, as you can clearly see. So I have already lost because I cannot even turn around to attack these idiots. So yeah, this is obviously not working really well, and I have lost already. It just proves the point that I don't know what I'm doing. So we're gonna have to try this again. So I need to build up the defenses first. How did I die exactly? What the hell? That's some bullshit. I did not get killed. Did I get killed somehow? What the f... Okay, well, that's a load of something. Okay, so let's see. We can build 2 of these turrets, which is just not gonna cut it. We're gonna need to build them. One needs to go over there, and one should be preferably constructed somewhere around here. What did you do? Why don't you build the damn turret? Build the damn turret. What the hell? Come on! Knock it off! That's so ridiculously annoying when you do this crap. Okay, and can we build more, maybe? I don't have any more of those weird components, so probably not. And we are gonna switch out to the axe. And theoretically, I should load up some landmines. Yeah, I don't have landmines, so maybe frag grenades in order to help me out. Let's make a run for it now. Are they attacking the turret or what's happening? I do hear some sort of slashing noise. I don't know if the landmine would be more effective. Come on, I can do it. I can eventually learn how to do this. I hope so. God, I hope so. Okay. I'm taking quite a lot of beating here. And why isn't the damn turret firing anymore? Does it have like a limited amount of ammunition or what's happening? They are all coming in with all sorts of different HP. It takes just way too many slings of the damn axe to be effective. And do I die again? Yeah, it got me killed somehow. What the fuck? Is it because I'm standing too close to whatever this building is or is supposed to be? How do I get more of these turrets and why did they disappear on me? Now, the thing is, if I recall it correctly, you are able to get a couple of skills which are enabling you to do a couple of adjustments. How do I demolish this goddamn thing? No, that's not what I want. I just... Okay, 25 iron ingots and one of those components. That's the thing. I do not know if I cannot really have both frag grenades and both landmines, or can I? It seems like I can. So maybe if I would just have a crap ton of explosive thingies on top of my inventory, that might theoretically enable me to do this. So we need to find a spot which is closest. Okay, driftwood seems to be the closest. So we're gonna go camp, we're gonna grab the frag grenades, the frag mines, and we're gonna see if we are gonna be able to build the turrets and do something regarding this. Because without those electronic components or whatever that weird gizmo is, which is necessary for the turret, I cannot really build right now more than 2 of them, even if I do have access to more tech. But because the zombies are so freaking resilient. Invent and craft. Yeah, you see, I don't know if I can do anything here. A build limit +5, but I need a mana shard and 10 of those. Bandolier will not do anything. Lightning rod. What does that do? Trinket, a peculiar device able to gather ambient energy and concentrate it into single focal point. Sounds awesome. Cannot really use it. Frag mines. Can we upgrade those? Upgrade gear. Let's take a look. We're gonna spend our titanium, but I think it's gonna be worthwhile here. Okay, so let's see if we can actually do this now. Because they keep moving from those 2 directions, and I have simply access to those 2 turrets right now. I do want to succeed. But I do not know if there is like an earlier version, because this was like the first time I encountered this possibility for a shelter loudspeaker. Now, it's quite possible that the developers had this in mind before, but even here when you find these loudspeakers now. The issue is that at that time, I did not really understand what it was, and it was probably not even implemented. I don't know, I have been covering the game for quite some time now. It's a lot of fun. I really do appreciate the fact that it was recommended to me. But I also have to just mention the fact that it can be kind of frustrating at points, because the instructions are just so poorly given. Okay, so what if we would give you like this? And if we can build the other turret like here. Can I build more of them? I need more materials. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna get as a potential answer. I do not know if these frag mines are gonna disappear. I certainly do want to make sure that we do create a bunch of obstacles for our fellow friends here. Let's try to activate it now. The mines seem to be holding. One mine has been activated already. So I'm gonna go towards here because this seems like the shorter way. Use the frag here. I want to make sure that the mines last for as long as possible and that I do not stand in the explosive radius of the damn mine, because then that's just gonna totally F me up. And do I have access to bandages? I should have. Okay, stop healing yourself, dumbass. Come on, damn it, to hell. And I'm gonna die again. This is so ridiculously stupid. Why does it have to insist on killing my character when I simply am not responsible for whatever hell happens here? I do have the turrets here, but the turrets alone don't seem to be just simply cutting it. So, do not know if I should try to prioritize the putting down more mines throughout this route than this one. The initial work done by the mines is definitely visible. We're gonna probably try the rifle. It's just a couple of rounds, but it might be enough. I'm a stubborn SOB, so what can I tell you? I hate this. The rifle is not doing as much damage as I would love it to. Okay, the turret did its work here. They are kind of roaming around, so having something constructed over here would be extremely helpful. But they are getting close by, and I'm starting to feel the pressure again. Come on, let's frag them. Yeah, they're gonna do these couple of punches and it's again over. I do wonder if it's gonna kill me now that I'm not... Yeah, it's constantly killing me. I do wonder if this will affect the overall score, if, like, you can die only a certain amount of times or some bullshit. But obviously, it's not allowing me to defeat this minigame with the current access to what I have available to me. Theoretically, though... Okay, that was just horrible. Now I have to go camp again because I threw the damn grenades right now, so that's awesome. This turret over here is definitely a great placement. But I'm thinking, what if we would put one over here? Yeah, definitely having one over here at the start. And one should be placed over here so that when they do this dumbass turn around, it actually gives us the time to deal more damage to them. but this is the shorter passage. I cannot really obstruct it for them so that they will all funnel over here. Like if you watched, Jesus, what was the name of the game? Oh my god, Orcs Must Die 3, yeah. Orcs Must Die 3, where we are able to funnel the orcs, ogres, goblins, and all sorts of other creepy crawlies through a certain location. So if we could actually utilize this longer route which they have to travel through, that would be awesome. But at the current stage, I don't think it's gonna allow me to do this, and therefore I do have to wonder if there is a possibility for me to somehow obtain more of these weird components and therefore be able to construct more of these turrets at least 3 should help me get even closer to my goal, as unfortunately even the rifle itself was not able to help me too much because the mutated ex-humans inside of the escape hatch or the secret tunnel or post-apocalyptic bunker are so sturdy, it's not able to really do that critical damage because we weren't really sneaking on them or anything like that. So I don't know how to therefore tackle this. Is there a possibility for me to maybe craft this or something? Don't think there is. I don't think there is. Now we have used up our reserves of titanium in order to upgrade the landmines, which sucks, meaning I will have to run to the blacksmith shop or what's the place called, in order to actually get my hands on what I need. I don't really see any option of helping me out here a bit more. Builder's kit, mana short, building limit +5 to +10. That is awesome, but we have only 1 mana short, so I kind of don't want to say goodbye to that. This is driving me up the wall. Don't know if along this shoreline I can come across the damn component. I'm so pissed off about being stuck and not being able to find what I need here. It's really it gets from point of it being entertaining to it being annoying, and that is why I maybe don't play as much of the game frequently. But when I do, I try to cram in as much content as possible. But this was not the most fortunate content of it all. So let's take a look along the shoreline, see if we can discover something, because I have no freaking idea where to come across this goddamn train component which I'm missing. Come on, run. You can do it. I believe in you. We do not get obstructed by any stupid object. Should be able to make it in time. Alrighty. That's one big ass blue eyes orb. I don't know if this one can actually be dropped off over at the pyramid, but this worked out quite nicely. Okay, is there anything besides wolf in here that I can actually utilize? I do wonder if I will eventually find that freaking piece of train part which I'm missing, but that's all to be seen. This is why I was wondering if it would be better for us to do this on stream so that I can cram in a crap ton of recorded time and not really have anything useful in it, because I'm just gonna be looking for stuff. But we're gonna find out from your feedback, of course. The one main reason why I don't like streams is because I'm not really allowed to do it in higher quality, and because I built this computer in order to capture footage in higher resolution so that you can enjoy all the beautiful detail. I really want to make sure that that is something that is featured on the channel, because trust me, when I was doing this channel for over a year or so on strictly laptop resolution and everything, it was challenging as hell, because trying to render footage on 8 gigs of RAM, that's no joke, especially if you try to do anything while you are rendering the footage on your laptop. So Yeah, but now that I have access to this computer, I definitely want to make sure that the footage is in higher resolution so we can have some fun with the content featured on the channel. Okay, it looks like we came across some sort of wolf country. It's like that. What's the guy's name? Liam Neeson. Yeah, where he was fighting wolves with his bare knuckles or something like that. Did anyone see that movie? I don't think I saw that movie. Or I think like they kind of ruined the movie by having a really terrible ending, so I don't really recall it that much. Probably because it wasn't that great. I don't know, I kind of feel like Liam Neeson has been lately putting out these sort of weird movies that nobody really is interested in, but I guess he just wants to be in movies. Makes you feel like he's another Nicolas Cage or something. I mean, have you seen some of the new Nicolas Cage movies? They are really weird. But then again, he would not have to put up with weird movies like that if he did not spend all his money on weird purchases, such as a castle and all sorts of other weird stuff. Seriously, where the hell is this damn piece of train where I need to get? If someone can tell me this, I don't care if it's gonna spoil a major part of the game. At this point anymore, it's becoming ridiculous. It should not be this difficult to find a freaking piece of whatever. And I cannot make it across here because I'm just gonna drown. It's amazing how you are on an island nation, yet you cannot swim. How's that even a possibility is beyond me. You know what? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to Pike Steel Manufacturing, and then I'm gonna probably run along this entire border to see if there's a way that I can get in, because I'm really not sure where to find this Solaris, and based on Reddit information, it is already meant to be over there. And where the hell did you come from? I'm gonna try to hide inside and be all sneaky on him. I said sneaky on him. How is this sneaky? Okay, at least I was able to take him out in 2 swings. So that was lucky, fortunately for me. Unfortunately for him. Let's make a shortcut through here. We still cannot use the sledgehammer to break down these massive walls, so that sucks. Because our damage output just simply does not go so high. And it's actually a shorter way for me to get to the steelsmith if I just walk there from here to Primeville and get here, because then I would have to go here, go to Sanctuary Farm, and then go over here. But theoretically, I can then go to the Sanctuary Farm and actually harvest the crops, and then they can be theoretically dropped off at the Ark eventually. I don't think you can initially drop off crops at the Ark. You can drop off only like the construction resources and such. I don't know, I haven't been there for a while, so we're gonna see. Let's go do this. I'm gonna harvest the crops. I'm gonna be responsible farmer, even though there's absolutely zero need for me to do anything with the crops. There's no hunger bar, no exhaustion, no nothing. So we're gonna see how this is gonna turn out, or if these crops are already ready to be harvested. Looks like only portion of them is, but I'm gonna go with the harvest anyhow. Thank you, by the way, for giving me the advice to actually use the scythe in order to harvest this. And hopefully we're going to be able to replant crops and see what next can be done. Onion seems to be resisting the power of harvest. Cannot really utilize any fertilizer in here or anything like that, so we are stuck with what we have. But I'm going to have to replant all these amazing crops. Unfortunately, they are all of the gray form, so even if I'm doing like these crabs which take forever to grow, it's still not gonna give me as much experience. So you can see that it's like ranking up over here, but overall we're just not gonna get that much out of it, unfortunately, which sucks. Okay, so our titanium has been done. We have also access to some steel. I don't have that many scrap wood pieces anymore, so we're gonna have to burn through our regular reserve of wood. We do not have that much steel, so theoretically I might be forced to smelt some. Let's go with 20. It's gonna burn through 160 bricks of iron. And then we're gonna go and make some more titanium. Although we need to switch to a different form of fuel. Okay, so let's make that happen. I'm gonna drop this thing off. And now I do wonder how to make this travel over here so that I don't have to put on the goddamn gas mask. So I can scavenge or scout out this region over here, this border. I think that's all I'm gonna be able to do in this episode because it's just, yeah, this is why I think a stream would be a option for here, because I'm just literally stuck on this stupid train and the instructions are so freaking stupid that I seriously, just due to that, don't like the game as much as I could. But on the other hand, I kind of do appreciate that the studio behind the game has actually decided to not go with the obvious way and just like give you the direct instructions like, hey dumbass, do this or go here, or give you some sort of eagle vision or some BS like that, which gives you the resolution to your problem. So being stuck on a place like this and having to think and actually struggle a bit is kind of interesting as a possibility for a player. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with the freaking gas mask and F it. Or can we craft the military gear? The soldier uniform. Fabric, yes. Titanium, yes. Hide, yes. It gives us additional throwable capabilities or additional ammo. But I do wonder if that means we would have, for example, more grenades, more mines. Did it increase our overall capacity? Yeah, it did. Son of a biscuit. Actually, if the soldier uniform would work in the region with the zombies, and I would be able to lay down more of the landmines and have more frag grenades, theoretically speaking, we might be cooking. I might try this with the soldier uniform if I don't cook my own balls in my sweat due to the temperature that is present down there. I'm gonna do this fishing because we're gonna need that weird green fish, and when I started to cover the game, actually fish was something which wasn't finished, so all the icons were like the same. We didn't have like salmon and this fish and that fish. It was just green fish, it was a blue fish or something, and it was a red fish, and that was it. There weren't these different species like if you would be playing Stardew Valley or any other game. Speaking of which, I heard that there is supposed to be 1.6 patch for Stardew Valley. Don't know if I will be covering Stardew Valley on the channel. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love that game. But I would probably prefer if Eric would focus his attention towards the Haunted Chocolatier so that we can get it released this year. I would hate to wait for the game for another 2 years or something because he keeps updating Stardew Valley, don't get me wrong. the last patch for the game was amazing. I mean, 1.5 blew my mind. And there are still people who are complaining that it's not accessible on mobile or console or wherever. But on the other hand, I kind of cannot even imagine you running Stardew Valley 1.5 and having the islands with the parrots and all these things happening there, because the graphics and what can be experienced on that island has been so ramped up in comparison to what the game initially had as a potential amount of content. So it's gonna be kind of interesting that way. Okay, so now that's enough of that. Let's try to make it somehow towards the bridge and see if we can scout out. Wow, it actually worked out. I was able to bypass quite a lot of enemies here. And quite a really deadly enemies here. Don't get me wrong. I'm a sucker for punishment, but that was just really nice and convenient. I kind of do need iron right now because I have just spent like 160 ingots in order to make some steel ingots. So this is gonna be kind of fun. Literally, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm dismantling. You should be dismantling the cars though too with the sledgehammer. It would allow me to gain access to the steel ingots. Okay, so what we're gonna do on this episode, therefore, most likely, is me trying to run along the shore there, see if I can actually gain entry to the southern section of the map, where it would give me access to the brand new location, and therefore potentially be able to access the region where there is another fuel cell for the rocket. And if that's gonna fail, with the outfit of the soldier, we're gonna go to the place where I try to do the turret defense minigame, and with the additional landmines, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna be able to succeed in order to stop the never-ending onslaught of the overly mutated undead, and if I'm gonna die again or if I'm not gonna die again, so that's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna maybe relocate the turret, which I wanted to place there, but it's gonna all depend on how it's gonna work out. So that's what I think is gonna happen on this episode, so fingers crossed it's gonna somehow work out, or if not, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the next episode. So your feedback is gonna be really crucial in order to make Dysmantle even more successful series than it already is. Funniest thing is, the most successful series on the channel are still for Shield Wall. If I would have known that, I would have pumped out so much more content for that game. But I did the review, I did cover all these maps that are currently accessible. So if the game will have the next update where more scenarios will be available, then of course I'm gonna jump onto that and we're gonna have some further fun with the game. But in the meantime, we're gonna have to focus on all the other funky stuff. Okay, so let's follow this cliff and see if we are gonna be able to actually find what I need. It's starting to look like we are overheating, so that's telling me already that something is up and that the region might have like really tropical climate or something. This railing is awesome because it gives you a crap ton of iron ingots, so if you are running short, this is a great source to replenish your reserves, trust me. Okay. Okay, I somehow stunned the other ex-human when the one with the giant nail actually tried to attack me. But one thing which I noticed is I'm not actually getting the blue orbs or the mana shards. Am I getting the mana shards or am I not getting the mana shards? I will require the mana shards, because that way I know if I'm supposed to be killing these things or if I'm just supposed to ignore them and run past them. It's 30 degrees Celsius, so that's super hot. If you use Fahrenheit, I'm not even sure what would be the like conversion, but trust me, it is really. Oh my god, you're gotta be kidding me. There is literally a road which leads me down here. Son of a freaking gun. Okay, so obviously we're gonna have to make one interesting thing here, and that is stop the game. So since I found my way over to this region because obvious reasons, I'm gonna try to put up another episode, and I still want to know your feedback as to if you would want me to stream this game or if you would want me to stream something else. I did look over the suggested games, but I did not get some responses, and most of the games which were suggested to me, I wasn't really that much of a huge fan. I don't know why is it that, for example, I like Dysmantle, but games like DayZ and all the other weird PUBG type of clones, I'm not a huge fan of. So in the meantime, wish me luck. I'm gonna wish you the best into 2022. Hopefully it's gonna be better than the previous year. My previous year sucked. This was the only positive thing in my life, so I'm really looking forward to a next year of lots of potential. It's gonna be tricky with the new job once I start to go there, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I have as much content for you in the meantime. And as per usual, try to subscribe or recommend the channel to lots of your friends so that I can grow the community of weirdos who are interested in games like I am, even though I should not be because I'm 30 and I should be like starting a family or all this weird nonsense, and I'm here playing video games and talking to you about them. So let me know what you think. Give the episode a big thumbs up, and I will see you all in the comments or at the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye for now.